People produce creative work in different ways. Some individuals can just sit down and come up with an idea out of the top of their head. But in my experience, and in our company's experience, you can't always guarantee getting good results just by expecting individuals to come up with ideas off the top of their head or just through straight research. So we often use creative thinking techniques, and this generally involves getting a number of people from the company, the project lead, and other designers, whether they be from a print stroke graphic design or new media background, to come together and just talk about the issues involved with a particular job. And there's a number of techniques that can actually help that process. For instance, we quite often use a whiteboard, where when we first look at the responses from the client on the questionnaire, we'll just quickly sketch up words that the client have brought out, and other elements from what we know about the company and its customers and its vision. So for instance, we might sketch down all the words to do with the energy industry and what we think the selling points of the individual company are, and from there we can use techniques such as spider diagrams. So for instance, if we identify a particular element or selling point of the company which we think has got legs, we will ring that word and then just quickly off the top of our head come up with other words that are associated with that word. And what we can do is that we then set up networks of ideas, and we can pick a word from over there and match it with another word, and suddenly what you find is ideas start coming together. Now, this is a technique we use all the time and can often come up with ideas that you would never have just thought of if you just sat down and thought about it yourself. One thing that we're very, very keen on is this quick thinking idea, because and we encourage an environment where nothing is wrong. On the face of it, a particular word might not seem associated with the word that you brainstorm, or it might seem like a stupid idea. But once you go two or three more steps down the line, suddenly you find a new idea appearing that you would have never got to if you were blinkered and restricted people's flow of thought. During the process of creative thinking, obviously, we will start to highlight ideas that have come together, and hopefully what we'll do is we'll be able to leave with 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of concepts or ideas we can then work on. What will happen is the project lead or the project manager will take away the notes from the flip chart or however the medium is recorded, type up those documents, and they'll go onto our server with all the other documents that are associated with the project, so that any of the individual designers that are then going away to look at an idea or work up a concept have always got all the information they need to refer back to make sure that their work is as apt as possible. When I first started in the design industry, a lot of creative work and the actual development process was done by hand. So you would sketch things out, and you'd only start to go to the computer or actual layouts at the end of the process. But designers these days are so used to the medium of computers that they find it much easier just to visualize things on screen. Different elements of the design, whether it be the font, the use of imagery, color, logo shapes, you can immediately see them when they're on screen, and you know whether something works straight away. So you can reject it if it doesn't work. So you haven't wasted that time of sketching things to any great degree. So as a company, pretty well all of our designers do most of their development work on screen. There may be some hand sketching done at the beginning just to quickly get ideas down, to remember them, but most of the development work is done on screen, which will then be taken forward to final layout visuals, which will be then presented to the focus group or the client, whatever's required.